Hi, this is Darren Drew from D. Drew Guitars. I'm going to be showing you how I glue on the back side. I always have my wood the same as the front on the back and front. And this one here I have to really bend a lot. I bend it actually 4 times because it really contours, has a lot of bend to it. So I bend it 4 times, soaking it in hot bath water, bathtub, and then I clamp it down, let it dry. And so I have this cut very close to the proper size, especially here where I'm bending the wood a lot. I have everything already lined up. I have my clamping block on the back side ready to go, and it's cut the same size also. So I have my center line here, which everything revolves around. So what I'll do first is I have where the neck screws are going to go through. I'll use that hole to anchor this in place, and I'll want to see half of my pencil line the whole time. So let's put some glue on and get going. I use Titebond. Spread the glue, pretty thick actually. These are chambered, so to make it a little bit lighter because this is all maple guitar, so it's going to be quite heavy. Don't need quite as much in the chambered area because I don't want the glue to go through and fill up the hole. I scribed it also beforehand, and I must have 30 hours alone in test fitting, sanding all the edges with the flat sanding block, a hard block, to make sure that it's going to be perfectly smooth and a tight, glue line. This is a sanding block I'll use, a big sanding block like this, nice hardwood. You want to have a wet rag with you. Now you just spread the glue out evenly. Like I say, it's a pretty messy job, but that's just part of it. Try to keep all the glue out from inside the chamber mark so far, off the edges. A lot of glue is going to be squishing out, which is normal. Like I said, I test fitted this and made it fit. See where it's not fitting tight. Clamping it over and over and over, just because that's what it takes to get a really good glue joint, especially where it's bending. On this light colored wood, the maple, it's going to really show your glue line if it's not a very tight glue line. And you don't want that on light colored wood. You have plenty of time to work with this, even though it's glue and it's drying, as fast as you're putting it on, pretty much. But okay, there we go. See, wet rag. It's going to be glue going in there anyway, but okay. So first, and I have all my clamping blocks on the top side also. So first, I want to tack this down in place because when it's a downhill slope, so the glue makes it like ice, and it will want to slide very easily. You'll want your hole here actually to screw, not have to screw through the wood, but so it has some play in there a little bit. Now I'll check my glue joint here, and I'll be cleaning up this loose glue as I go. I'm going to see half my pencil line here. Get a screwdriver. See half a pencil line and no more. Okay, and that's really good right there. And then I'll do the same back here, but I'll put my clamping block on because I don't want this thing to slide at all. So I'll start putting clamps on that are far outside so that they don't get in my way. As for more clamps, put my clamping block where it's supposed to be. I have my clamps pretty much already set to the proper height. Get this right to the very edge. Check and see if it's in the right place before I go any farther. I want to see half of this pencil line. Yeah, see, I'm not on it, so not seeing it. See, it's already getting tacky to where it doesn't want to move on me. There we go. Okay, I can see my pencil line now right there. Let's try this again. Boy, you really want your pencil line to show only half of it. Very important. Otherwise, your center line's off, then pretty much everything else is going to be off on it. I'm so close. There we go. Keep squishing on me and going the other direction now. But this is so important to have, right? Now stay right there. Tighten that up really nice and tight. Now I want to get a block over here. I can still see half my pencil line. Get my clamping block under here where it's supposed to be. Okay. I'll get this nice and clean now so I can continue to watch my center line. I can still see it perfect here. I can still see it there. Clean up some of this glue now. It's easier. Especially I want to clean it up along this edge where the other back piece is going to meet. And now I can get the glue off. Later I can't. And what I've even done, after I bent this back every time, I will take it to use my table saw to make this line nice and flat, 90 degrees. Put some sticky sandpaper down on the top, and use my fence up over the top of the sandpaper and hold it tight and sand it back and forth. And then that will give me a nice 90-degree angle right here for the other top to match up to it and make a good glue joint there. Okay, I'll wipe this off now. Usually I'll work from the center outwards, but on this one, I'm going to work where it bends the most. So I have all my pieces numbered where they're going to go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ones in the bend first. And I have these even radiused or rounded on the bottom just a little bit to match. Why isn't that fitting right? 5. It's got to go like that. It goes like this. So now I will clamp these first. My blocks are just big enough for the clamp to fit on it properly. And I want to use small blocks like this because it's going to be bending, and so I want it to conform just right on each one and bend it. You know, if I had a big block like this, it's not going to bend near as easily. See, now I'm getting lots of glue coming out of here. So I'll just keep cleaning that up as I go. And like I say, test fit it, make sure it's all sitting nice and right. And I did it many, many times. Like I said, I probably had 30 hours alone in just flat block sanding this piece to get it where I want it. These I want really nice and tight. And I want to get all that glue out of there now. That's going to squish out as much as possible because I can clean it now. I can get to it. Okay, I'll put another clamp right here. This is a time-consuming process, but if you want it right, this is what it takes. Done this many times, and this is always the hardest piece right here to glue on because it's got such a bend to it. But I like my body's nice and contoured. And another reason for blocks is so you don't leave clamp marks, but it distributes the pressure from the clamp, in which that's what you want to do also. See all this glue coming out of here? I can clean it up, but I like to kind of clean it as I go. Clean more of that up later. I'll put another clamp on right here. Have another clamping block. I'll just hold it down in place with a clamp like this. Try to use a different size clamp so my kind of fits easier to get to. Okay, I want to keep checking my center line. Keep getting all this glue out. Yeah, I can see my line there. I can see my line there. Cleaning this up now is so much easier than later. And here's another thing you need to keep in mind too when you're building a guitar is whenever you sand, it gets smaller. So you want to make it a touch on the larger side around all your edges, because especially when I got to sand 3 different layers of it, you could say. So keep in mind that it's going to get smaller the more you sand. You know, to make it really nice and clean looking, you know, sanding before you finish it. So always keep that in mind also, because that's very important. Okay, put another clamp here. See, I got a lot more glue coming out again, which is a good thing. That means I used enough. Okay, and now I want to make sure that these get really nice and tight before I go any farther with clamping. So I'll put a wrench on it. Come on. Because I want these nice and tight. getting in my way. And I will do this after I get all my clamps on. I'll continue to tighten these up 5 minutes later and then another 5 minutes later, just to make sure that they're all really nice and tight. See how much more you can get on with a wrench. Okay, time for some more clamps. Let me clean up some glue first. Yeah, see, more glue keeps squishing out of here. That's especially where I don't want it. Glue's hard to clean up later after once it's dried. So I always like cleaning it all up now. Especially out in this area right here. Okay. It's a lot of work doing this. Really is. Okay. Clean up some glue in here. And now I can start to clamp some more. Okay, there's a big bend here. See, if you have your clamps preset, it makes it so much easier. Sometimes these things just get so damn close together, though. Okay. Still want to keep checking that center line. Good. Good. I can see both still, or see half of both. And I'll just keep clamping this, and I'll fill this whole thing up with clamps, as many clamps as I have. I'll keep tightening these up with the wrench while I have the space, because later you can see here with not much space, it's harder to get to it. And then I'll use a different type of clamp on the back side. Let me keep going with this now. I want to get this edge nice and tight. keep going until I run out of clamps. I have a whole bunch. And see, I still have more glue dripping out, which is good. So clean that up, keep cleaning it up. And, you know, then I'll start using my other type of clamps from the back side to get more clamps on it than I already have. But I'm going to end this video now. Please like, please subscribe. This is Darren Drew, D. Drew Guitars. Bye.